You're listening to the Undeniable Clarity Podcast with Colin Pal. Tune in to find your undeniable clarity so you can start taking action today to take ownership of your life and to rise above and beyond this noisy world. Hello there, friends. Welcome to the Undeniable Clarity Podcast. We are joined again today by Vanessa Petronelli. It's her second episode with us on the Undeniable Clarity. So if you haven't heard the first episode, backtrack to the first one and listen to that one. Today, Vanessa, I want to talk about the power of purpose. All right, we talked a lot about this in the first one, but I want to talk about this growing expansion of consciousness. Like, this talk on purpose is huge now. I mean, it's gaining so much traction and attention. Everyone's talking about it, and they're not just becoming more aware of it. They're they see this change happening and they want to contribute. They want to be like a part of it. Right? People are being called to discover their purpose, right? To make an impact, to be of service, right? It's no longer just about money and success anymore. I see this huge rise in consciousness. Right? People, they don't want to be just a cog in a machine anymore, right? They want to be out there living their dreams, their passion, their purposes, right? Why do you think this is happening now?
Well, just as you said, we are going through a whole new level of consciousness. There's a dawning of a new age, I feel, that's happening on this planet. And if anything, I think what's happening is that we've kind of reached that tipping point on this planet as humanity. I mean, if you look around you, look at the planet, look at the earth, look at the way we're treating each other. And I feel like we've perpetuated these cycles and these paradigms for so many hundreds and hundreds of years. It's kind of like, can we do something different now?
It's about time.
Yeah, it's like, let's do something different. Let's try on something new rather than working against each other and being in this separated, fear-based state, survival mode. Why don't we try on something new? And I feel like people are hungry for change on the planet. And, the more of the new age metaphysical community will call it a dawning of a new age, a new rise in consciousness, enlightenment age, Aquarian age. You can just look at it as it's just time to do something new, guys. Like, let's take a really grounded and simple approach. This ain't working anymore. It's just not. And if we don't come together and co-create together something new that will transcend these paradigms and these structures that have been in place, we're going to destroy ourselves and the planet we live on. And I really don't believe it has to happen that way.
I agree with you. Yeah. I like what you said there, to co-create. I
Yes.
think another thing that's been growing too is this expansion on this collective responsibility. Right? It's not just everyone. It's not just my purpose anymore. It's our purpose. We're finding people that align with our purposes, people that believe in what we believe in, and we're working together with them just to create this mesh, this network of I don't know what it is, but it's amazing. There's this collective responsibility, and there's this importance in, relationships and connecting now. Right? Back then, it's everyone for themselves. It was a dog eat dog world. And now it's just like, I need these relationships. I need these connections. Right? I like to say that there's 3 things that you have to invest in. And one of them is not your business. 3 things you need to invest in is 1, your skills and your knowledge. Right? The other thing, your emotional competence. Right? Those 2 things, doesn't matter. People cannot take that away from you. You can lose your business. You can be bankrupt. You cannot lose your skills, your knowledge. You can't lose your ability to manage your emotions, to manage your inner self, your own self-awareness. Yes. And the third thing, relationships and connections. Yeah. Because you can lose your business, you can lose your house, you can lose everything, but you will not lose the people that you've invested in.
Yes. Great points. Very true. I agree.
Yeah. It's so important to build these relationships. And when you're teaching your clients, do you imply that too? Like the importance of connecting and building relationships? And how do we do that? How do we build that relationship, that tighter, genuine human connection with people?
Oh, I love that because it's so tantamount. I mean, my premise of my work is having people understand that they're in relationship to everything in their lives. Everything is a relationship. We tend to only think that we're in relationship to our friends or our colleagues, our partner, or children, our neighbors, but we're in relationship to everything. And when you start to look at it that way, you start to connect very differently. You start to look at how you're connecting to people from a much more curious place. You know, I always look at it this way, and this speaks to my own personal experience. My relationships deepened, became more authentic, became more loving, more enjoyable, more pleasurable, more intimate when I became all those things with myself. My whole motto and a lot of the programs and workshops and things that I run is all about becoming your own best friend, connecting to yourself first. You know, again, coming back to my point from, you know, our previous episode, you know, your entire outside world reflects back to you. So your relationships are also reflecting back to your connection with yourself. So if you're not having relationships where you're feeling that you can be authentic, where, you know, you're feeling you can be vulnerable and open and transparent and honest and loving and true and unconditional, you really got to examine your own relationship with yourself. That's why I believe that, you know, where our world is going, it's looking at ourselves first. We need to be the change that we want to see in the world. I love Gandhi's quote. I always have. Yeah. Because it starts with you. It's not going to start with the government. It's not going to start with your father or your mother or with your friend or your teachers. It's going to start with you. So your relationships and your connection to the world are going to deepen and become more authentic. They'll become exactly what it is that you're really looking for and desiring when you become that yourself as best as you can. And then you'll see that reflected back.
Absolutely. Yeah. And when you really think about it, the biggest impact you can make is when you work together with other people as well.
Absolutely.
Right? I'm seeing like I don't know about you, but I see so many online conferences and summits going on where entrepreneurs are pulling together to, you know, to share their passions or share their purpose. Right? It's no longer, there's this increase in this sense of community, of finding a tribe, right? We always have the sense of belonging. Right? We want to belong to something, and I feel we're starting to want that more, and we're starting to express that through the creation of these communities and these tribes. And that's why I'm always telling people that I coach, right? Like, find a community, find a tribe to belong to contribute to. Right? Yeah. Find people that share your passions and your purpose. And sometimes finding people that share your passions helps you find your passion and your purpose.
Right. I mean, we are who we surround ourselves by. We become that. Absolutely. And I mean, I'm seeing it more than ever now too. In the last year or so, this whole, you know, ability to collaborate and connect with like-minded individuals, because your power is in numbers, you know, but I feel like the more that you're connected to yourself, then you're going to start to naturally gravitate and magnetize those kinds of connections as well. So you will start to meet people who are on the same or similar path, or who believe in the same things as you, who are living their life on purpose and, you know, want to join and collaborate and create a tribe of like-minded individuals who can take on the world, you know, and help other people. And those numbers just seem to grow, but it's like your light has to become activated, and then you start to attract other people whose lights are already activated, or you help to activate theirs with them. So it is a ripple effect, you know, and absolutely community is so important. I mean, I even look at that with my own business. I'm a solopreneur. I know how to work well on my own. I am craving now to connect with and collaborate and to join forces with other like-minded entrepreneurs or businesses that believe in these same things as me, so that we can start to get more and more and more of this work out. Because I mean, even in this conversation is going to be shared with my network. Well, my network only has as many people as it has at this point, but when it's shared with your network, it's going to double that. Right? And vice versa. I'll share this with my community. So now we're like doubling, maybe even tripling the amount of people that we will start to connect with and get this message out there. And that's so, so important these days.
Yeah. There's that saying, I can't remember who it's from, but, where if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
Oh, I love that. I've never heard that before.
I can't remember who it's from, but
that's beautiful.
This came up out of nowhere.
I like that. Thank you.
No problem at all. Now, what about people that have trouble connecting or you know, stepping out of that comfort zone again? What do you think what can they do to really step out of that comfort zone and meet new people, right? Like, I mean, people use the excuse that they're an introvert. I'm an introvert. That doesn't stop me from going out to connect to people. Right? What do you think about that?
Well, there's a few things that come up for me around that. And I've worked with clients who have said this to me as well. And, you know, in working one-to-one with those types of individuals, I'd like to discover where that belief system came from. You know, why they're feeling like they're having a hard time connecting. What happened to create that root belief or feeling that you can't connect with others? I mean, just the fact that you are here, you were born, means you belong. You do. So I think that there's definitely some benefit in having a little bit of an investigative type of reflection into your past to see where that developed. Is it a childhood thing? Did something occur in your life that made you believe that you can't connect with people? Because I believe that everybody is a balance of introverted and extroverted. I think when people say that they're fully extroverted, I think that they've actually haven't really discovered their inward experience. I used to be like a total extrovert, but then I really realized, holy smokes, I'm an introvert through and through. You know, I've just been able to step out of that and build this, you know, identity around being extroverted. And so for me, I need a balance of being able to socialize and connect and also have my inward time, have my own, you know, space to myself. Everybody's different. I understand that. And then I would also say, like, look at how much you're reinforcing that. If you are the type of individual who has the story all the time of, I can't connect with people, people don't like me, there's no people that are like-minded, there's nobody in the world like me, well, then guess what? What you're believing, what you focus on, energy moves toward that. You will keep on reinforcing and enabling that belief, and you will continue to reflect that back to you in your reality. Remember, your outside world reflects what's going on internally. Your thoughts, your words, your emotions, it's just energy. And it creates this magnet in your field to create that in your outside environment.
Yes,
so if you got to cut those stories, like you've got to let them go. If you want to create a future that is filled with beautiful connections, you have to start believing that that's possible for yourself. And then I would say, you know, of course, I'm always under, you know, the belief that working with a professional and that type of stuff, depending on how much those thoughts or beliefs are paralyzing you, always helps. It does. Not just because I do this professionally, but because I've been in that boat. I've done so much deep inner work, and the people who come in my path have helped me tremendously. And the last thing I would really say is, you know, sometimes you just have to face the fear and get out there. I love meetup groups. I think that they're fabulous. I think they're a wonderful tool. I know that it's limited, I believe, outside of maybe North America. I'm not 100% sure, but, you know, social media has a way of really connecting individuals from various parts of the world with their tribes. And I mean, there's a real plus side to social media and, of course, a downside like anything in life.
Yeah.
And one of those things is that you're able to connect with more and more people around the world who believe in the same things as you. And if you're wanting that in-person connection, then you got to look out for community events. Go to, you know, holistic spiritual centers, your yoga community centers, you know, your gyms, things like that. Places where you will find like-minded individuals who believe in the things that you believe in. And you know, you just have to put one foot in front of the other and just take a baby step. Even going to an event might be that baby step that you need to connect with someone. You don't have to go and meet 100 people or find your new best friend in that meeting or that event. It's just taking that step for yourself, you know, and putting that into motion.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I just moved here to Toronto about a year ago. Yeah. And that was one of the reasons I moved, actually. I wasn't able to really step out of my comfort zone and reach out, find those events and meet people in Edmonton. And my excuse was, there's not much events going on in Edmonton. And so I thought, you know what? I'm going to challenge myself. Why don't I move to a city where there's tons of events going on? There's tons of people to connect with. Then what excuse am I going to give myself then?
Yes.
Right? I challenged myself. I moved here to Toronto, and now I make the effort to go out there, to meet people, to connect with other people, because I can't use that same excuse anymore.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. And it really does take just going out there and just doing it.
Yeah, sometimes it is just that. You just have to do it. You have to face that fear and just go for it. Because if you don't, then it will paralyze you, and you really won't live this full experience that you're meant to be having on this earth and in this body. I really acknowledge you for doing that. It's not easy.
It's not. But again, like I like what you mentioned about the limiting beliefs, right? You really got to look inwards and really start questioning the questions or the statements that you tell yourselves.
Yes.
Right? Instead of saying, I don't know what I want, you're enforcing that doubt, that fear, right? Instead, tell yourself, I want to know what I want. Right?
Yeah.
I want to know what I want. I want to find out what I want. Right? And really enforce that positivity, right? Enforce that curiosity to go out there and to discover, yourself. Right? Meeting other people isn't to discover other people. It's discovering yourself as well. Right? That reflection that you're talking about, right? Yeah, the outside is a mere reflection of your inwards, right? So go out there and explore, right? Meet people, connect with people, build relationships, and in that you will discover yourself.
Yes. Right? Yes. Again, the difference between a comfortable life, being in your comfort zone, and living a fulfilled life. They're very different.
Very.
And what your thoughts, what you're thinking, what your thoughts are, what you're saying, how you're feeling are either moving you toward your vision or where you want to go in life or away from it. You have to pay attention to it.
Yeah. It's 2015 now. Being fulfilled is the new comfortable.
I agree. I like that. I love it.
All right. Let's wrap up today's episode. Vanessa, where can people find you?
Yeah, they can come and visit my website, vanessapetronelli.com. That's VANESSAPETRONELLI.com. I know that's a long one. Can't help it.
I'll have it in the show notes. So just check out the show notes and it'll be there. And I'm sure you can find her on all social medias as well.
Yes,
Facebook,
all those buttons
Twitter.
are right on my website. Yeah,
There
Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram. I'm there.
Awesome. And we have another episode with her, so she'll be back on again tomorrow. So tune back in tomorrow for another episode. See you guys.
Thank you. Bye.